I don't know about you guys, but it seems like the older I get, the more I realize how tired I am of the word open world in my video games. It feels like too many publishers are sold on the idea of a game being at its best when it has the presence of a sprawling world with so many things to do that it ends up not respecting time of the players and gamers alike. Right now, at my age, and yes, I have reached Unk status, an open world game has an uphill battle to win me over and wants to spend over 50 hours playing it just for the sake of playing it. And we're going to talk about why that seems to be the case and what these publishers could potentially do to make open world games more fun again. Men and women of culture, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Senzu. We are back again with another video. Do make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you can. All the links to all my social media channels will be in the description box down below. Follow, like, comment, subscribe. Helps with the algorithm. Without further ado, let's hop into the video. Especially being at my age, not like I'm that old or anything. The first true open world game that I ever played was GTA 3 on the PlayStation 2. I was enamored with the concept of going into a game that allowed me to interact with people and see the NPCs living their lives, or rather the illusion of these NPCs living their lives. Back then, there were open world games that were all over the place, but it felt like a nuance as opposed to the regular norm of every game being open world. Yes, we had MMORPGs, we had open world RPGs, but there was something special about GTA 3, especially living in like a city-like area and just doing all the things you could do, especially, dealing with strippers. It just felt like a new experience and one that I thought I would never get tired of, but then I was just so wrong. Nowadays, we have games that brag about them being so big, that it's seen as a good thing now. It's marketed as a good thing by the companies, but there's really no mention of how deep the world is, how impactful the things you do in the world are, or how the mechanics of the world actually respect your time as a gamer. A game being big doesn't translate to a game being good. I'm going to repeat that again. A game being big doesn't translate to a game being good. In more recent times, Ubisoft has called a lot of flack for not releasing any bangers in over 4 years, and that's led to them being in the situation they're in currently. We've seen the likes of the Far Cry's being more formulaic, Star Wars Outlaws being more formulaic, and now I was looking forward to Assassin's Creed Shadows, but now we don't even know what's going to happen with that game. You could even go as far to say that Ubisoft basically killed the point of an open world game as everything became formulaic, predictable, and overall just not satisfying anymore. A game being a massive sprawling open world doesn't really represent a game being good, because it more than likely means that that game is probably filled with bloat, no respect of your time, and probably a presence of sleazy tactics to lead a gamer or customers into spending money on microtransactions to make the game more fun without the grind. Even in Ubisoft's case, right, Ubisoft has this thing of, when it comes to open world games, their open world games are always the same, but every single now and then you have incredible experiences released by Ubisoft, the open world games. You had the likes of Immortals Phoenix Rising, which technically was an open world game, but it was done right. You had the likes of Mario Rabbids, tactical game. I never played it, but it got a lot of love. Even the game that released this year in 2024 in Prince of Persia, the new one, was a great game, but it just didn't get the love just because of marketing. And those are the experiences I look for. Those are the experiences I actually enjoy nowadays, because those experiences really value your time. Well, even in Prince of Persia's case, it was a tad bit long, but at the same time, I enjoyed the game for what it was. It didn't feel formulaic anymore. It's probably the reason why I've fallen in love with the more linear styled games where you're here for the experience and your time is valued. A game like Sekiro is one of my favorite games of all time, especially as you guys know I just really go into Souls games, and I already have a video of Sekiro that you could see if you click on the link right now, because of how focused the experience is. Sekiro is a game that is catered towards you. It's catered towards being in your face every single step of the way. You're learning there's so many mechanics in Sekiro that encourage you to keep on grafting, to keep on grinding, but it's not an open world game. They're leading you towards different paths. Yes, they're branching paths, but it's leading you towards the same goal at the end of the day. Even with games as long as Persona 5 Royal and Metaphor Infantasio, like 100-hour games, they still find a way to respect your time by presenting you with the plots and mechanics that always remain fresh and keep you loving the experience to the end. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying I hate open world games. Far from it. I still have great experiences from playing open world games like The Witcher 3, Skyrim, although the same can't be said about Starfield, which Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Elden Ring, and even Cyberpunk 2077 after all the patches, and especially on PC. I just don't think everyone should be making an open world game if you're not going to respect the time of gamers and present a world that's captivating and full of awesome side quests that are just as good as any main plots in modern games nowadays. And I think with me, the happy medium is, especially for publishers and developers right now, the happy medium is creating semi-open world games. A game like the new iteration of God of War and God of War Ragnarok, God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok, those games are incredible. Spider-Man is an incredible open world game, but because you enjoy the movements of the game. In a game like God of War, it's not open world, but you do have semi-open hubs which allow you to explore. Hell, the Outer Wilds, another great game. Sorry, the Outer Worlds, another great game that isn't an open world game, but it has open hub areas where you can explore things, look for different side quests and stuff like that. There's obviously a balance and there's a happy medium in between having an open world game that's sprawling and a game that's more focused and more linear and is more, cuts out all the bloat. Especially in a game like Final Fantasy VII, the initial one, and even Rebirth to a degree, had some bloat to it whereby some things could have been cut from the game. At the end of the day, I respect games that respect my time. Even a game that is long, a game like a Persona 5 Royal, or a game like a Persona, or a game like any JRPG, these games are long games, but if you're into them, you're there for the mechanics, you're there for the ride, you're there for the plots. They always have compelling plot points. And it's probably why I'm looking forward to Metaphor Fantasy and why I think Metaphor Fantasy is going to be a game that, even though it's not an open world game, it's going to be a bang for your butt because it's a 100-hour game. And I get that, yes, that might be alarming to some people who aren't used to that type of game, but I still think everyone should give it a try, which I actually really talk about in this video you're about to see right now, which you can click right now. Hey, it's a game that I think everyone should try. And if you're concerned about it being a 100-hour open world game, I think the best thing you can do is just pace yourself, but you can also find and learn more about the game right here as you see in the video. Thank you guys for watching the video. See you soon.